What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse, and this is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time as a musician myself. Today is the finale of this trio that I've been doing for SaGa Frontier 2, composed by Masashi Hamauzu, who you may know from later Final Fantasy games. We are listening to these two German titles, which I'm not going to pronounce because I suck at it. So instead, I got their translations here, which is Outer Space and Recollection, requested by Turnarklate. And I've said some opinions about this soundtrack. Well, not the soundtrack, but we'll see. But let's see if it affects these ones. Going in it with an open mind, though, as always. This is Weltall. Sorry if I messed that up. SaGa Frontier 2. Looking at pictures of the game. All right, PlayStation title. Oh, what? They remastered this game? I don't know about. Oh, chord change there. I like this. Has a nice rhythm to it. Love being caught by surprise. Can't go wrong with a good snare and a good beat. Ooh, just the rhythm of the song. Like the snares landing on each offbeat of the da-da-dum. It's cool. Oh, this reminds me of a certain Tekken song that I really enjoy from Tekken 4. It's called Authentic Sky. You know what's funny? My most recent comment on YouTube is about Hamauzu. I'm kind of tempted to just read it. You know what I noticed about this composer? I don't know if I said this before, but he has a very aquatic sound in general. And it makes me think if that's why they picked him for 10. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of his stuff sounds like it could be underwater, like bubbling traversal. It just has that ambience to it. I'm not gonna lie, this is really cool though. And then the snare going off of that. What do you think is coming up? No. No. This is good. Yeah, this is good. This is called Outer Space. Okay. You know what's good about this? It sounds 80s. I love that 80s sound. Kuss, kuss. A reverb drum. I wonder if the German has anything to do with the game itself, or just Hamauzu naming them, just for like mystique, you know? That's good. Okay, before I even get started, my very last comment on YouTube that I have so far was for SaGa Frontier 2, the first of the 3 videos that I did. From Akari Knox, Hamauzu is classically trained and grew up in Germany, hence the German. You should check out his arrangement album Violin Dank, or is it Donka? It has gorgeous chamber, small ensemble arrangements of music from SaGa Frontier 2, FF10, and other games from the early 2000s. He also has a band called Emi Route, where he uses his signature sound a lot. You'll love it. One of my favorite body of works of his is his music he composed for the Sony Alpha Clock project. Look it up. FF13 was also him. FF Piano albums him. He also composes contemporary classic music. Frequently works with pianist Benjamin Noose. TLDR, he's everywhere. Where have I heard the name Benjamin used? Anyways, before I get onto this last song, yeah, you know, I had some comments the last video, and basically all I said was, I'm not gonna like say everything again, but I was starting to get in the, like how this comment says, his signature sound. I pretty much said that a lot of his stuff is starting to sound the same to me, and maybe that's just because I've heard a lot of him so much in such a little amount of time, which makes sense. But it got to a point where I'm like, wait, do all of his soundtracks sound like this? And it just kind of put me in a, well, I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. It didn't put me in a bad mood, or it didn't put me in anything, but it made me just kind of think, like, huh, you know, does he just have this sound and doesn't deviate too much? So it's kind of baseless, you know, considering I've only heard, what, maybe 15 songs of him or less, so it's really not much to, but of those small amounts, a lot of them have sounded the same, except for this one. Ironically, this, I mean, yeah, it has like his, like, he has like this very mystical sound, you know? It reminds me of, honestly, it's weird to say, but some of earlier Tekken stuff, which I really like. Authentic Sky is one of Tekken 4's best songs. Sounds pretty close to this. And then there's one of my favorite songs from Tekken 6, which is Edge of Spring, The Mystical Forest. Sounds amazing, which, by the way, that song is the composer for Nier. It's crazy. But yeah, that kind of sound, I actually really like that sound. It's nice to just have as like background music too. So I don't mean any like disrespect, but you know how it is. It's one thing I've noticed, which kind of sucks, but I guess I just have to get used to it, is in my mind, I'm still just like that small creator from a couple years ago who just a couple people watched. But you know, every now and then I look at that number, I'm like, oh god, that's a lot of people that watch. Like, oh, verification badge, okay, that means something. Oh, okay, you know, like, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because now, think about it. I'm saying this in a way that you can kind of understand, not in a way that sounds like gloating, because I'm not at all. I'm very much still a viewer, and you know, I always think of myself as much smaller. But consider most of you watching are probably just viewers, probably people who don't know who you are. No offense, it's true. And that's cool. Take advantage of that, you know. Just it's nice to be unknown. But think about, you can kind of say whatever you want, and no one cares. In the nicest way possible. No one's gonna like whatever. Well, what I'm trying to say is, once you get to a certain amount, you can still say those same things, but now people are scrutinizing you, and now people will put a magnifying glass on what you say. Or what I'm getting at is that it's kind of rough being. No, let me rephrase that. Having opinions, it's a double-edged sword. Because on one end, I want to be honest and be like, hey, yeah, a lot of Hamauzu stuff sounds the same. But is that bad? Does that... I don't know. Then I think about it, I'm like, well, what if I just sat here and glazed every song that came my way? Then would that just mean people would want to watch a reaction of just knowing what to expect every time? I don't know, you know what I mean? So I always think about these kind of things, like, oh yeah, because also keep in mind, like, I have, fans, people that like what I say, and they'll take it to heart, which I'm not trying to do. I'm not trying to change anyone's opinion. In fact, the last video I did, the commenter commented and was like, this is why I like these songs. And I'm glad they did that, because that's the whole point. I'm not trying to change someone's opinion, and they're not trying to change mine, hopefully. They're just sharing a song they like with me. And I'm just sharing my opinion, because I'm in a unique spot where I get to listen to video game music, but I don't get to play every game. And long story short, I'm just going to be honest about how I feel. And stuff can always change, It's definitely happened on this channel before where I've said something similar, and then my opinion has changed once I become more familiar with it. Shin Megami Tensei. Weird ass soundtrack. Played it, one of my favorite soundtracks ever. Hamauzu, a lot of you have been hearing his music for 20, 30 years. So you know what's up. I haven't. So this is what I'm getting at. But anyways, this it's funny because I'm saying this now. One of the best songs I've heard from him. I like this. It's different. It plays with rhythm and it plays with drums. You notice the snare only lasted like 2 bars, and then I like that. I like stuff like that. And I'm just a fan of outer space, so that kind of worked out. Anyways, rant over. We still have another song. This one, I don't want to pronounce it, but it's translating to recollection, so probably memory. This is, yeah, I'm not even trying to pronounce it. Recollection. Also, I wonder what he is primarily. Is he a piano player? Or does he kind of just do everything? I do hear a lot of piano in his stuff. Also, this is the PS1 sound font. That's pretty amazing, I must say. $19.99, right? $19.99. These last 2 songs have been quite enjoyable, actually, with the rhythmic nature. I'm reading his Wikipedia page. Oh, he has his own studio. Mona Music. Oh, he was born in Germany. Well, there you go. Dude, he's very talented. Like, don't get me wrong. Opinions or not, talented. Two melodies happening right now. the battle theme? This is good. These last two songs have been the best. Out of the... Oh, there's even some left and right panning here. This is a really good pair of songs. And one more time, I just have to reiterate, because, again, saying one thing, people can take it one way, and they'll just, you know, if it's not what they want to hear, some people could take even offense to it. Just one more thing. If something sounds a lot alike, and they have like a sound that doesn't really change, that's not necessarily bad, right? Bad is bad. Bad is like, oh, this sounds terrible. Get it away from me. Ugh, you know. All I'm saying is that kind of maybe just dilutes expectations. So all I'm saying is, you know, if I know, this is kind of why I don't like knowing stuff. I don't like when someone sends me a song, I don't like knowing who composed it, what game. I look at that stuff after, so I can be surprised. But if I, like, say if I knew the next request I get is going to be XYZ composer, I'll be expecting a sound then. And what I noticed with Hamauzu, last thing I want to say about his sound, is that the man has a lot of sounds in his head. Every song is loaded with sound. There is at least 2 melodies happening at any given time. And again, it's not a critique, it's just true. The songs don't really have a huge chance to breathe. There's just a lot of sound, which is cool. It's his thing, right? It's what gives it that ambience. But rarely do things just kind of go into a solo, or like one thing is playing. It always seems to be like at least 2 pianos and then like some synth in the back just kind of bathing it all in chords. And that seems to be kind of like just his thing. So I feel like these 2 songs, even though they have that too, they broke away from that, from what I think his sound is. There was more rhythmic stops. There was times for it to like you know, hold on to. Because a lot of the stuff, every time I hear his music, I feel like I'm floating. Like I'm floating through like the skies and just kind of like in this dream state. It's very serene. You know, I like it. I like it. But let me put it to you this way. Probably not a good analogy, but I like things in moderation, just like most things, right? Like, I love water. I can't drink it. Well, I can't drink it for 24 hours a day, but if I did, it'd probably get boring. I like pizza. I'm not gonna eat it all day. Take the band Slayer. I always use the band Slayer because they're an interesting band. They've been playing the same stuff, whether you agree or not, for about 40 years now. 1 or 2 songs, awesome. A whole album, maybe not. Again, this is just me. So I feel like if I heard like 10 Hamauzu songs in a row, they would all start to sound like one song after a while. That's all I'm saying by that. So I don't know. I just like variety. I'm not trying to like piss anyone off. I'm just giving my opinion. And here, I'll spin it into a positive light. Even though all of it sounds kind of similar, it's all super well done. That's a PS1 sound font, which sounds incredible. And because of that, he was able to get one of the biggest gigs of his life, with a lot of people call one of the best soundtracks ever, Final Fantasy X. It's no slouch, you know. Anyways, I caught this little part of his Wikipedia that I thought was interesting. Hamauzu composes music in a wide variety of styles, often using multiple styles throughout the various pieces of a soundtrack. He mostly creates classical and ambient music and uses the piano predominantly as an instrument. He frequently uses dissonance to provide an atmospheric effect. Yeah. Now that I think about it, I would say piano is like the most reoccurring sound I hear in soundtracks. I don't think there's like There's like barely any guitar. Not a lot of drum emphasis. That's why the last song stood out so hard. Maybe that's what it is, honestly. Maybe it's just like an overabundance of piano and keys in general, which is his wheelhouse. But you know, I don't even think I've heard a bass line in one of his songs. Anyways, I like the stuff, but I feel like these two songs were the best of the six that I heard, for sure. But I will say, now that I played FF10 very recently, I feel like I'm just always going to hear FF10 when I hear him, even in this one, even though this came before it. I don't know. Just my opinions. Thank you to the requester, and thank you to everyone you see on screen. I couldn't be here without them. Until next time, my name is Jesse in the auditorium. Thanks for watching. Peace.